Have you ever heard that a single word can worsen an illness? Or on the contrary, relieve pain? We exchange countless words every day. But what if those words were not just sounds, but had the power to change our body, our mind, and even our behavior? Would you believe it? Today, let's talk about the power of words through fascinating experiments and findings in psychology, neuroscience, and education. First, an experiment from Japan became widely known. Researchers applied 2 types of leaves to the arms of teenagers with allergies. One arm was rubbed with real poison ivy, while saying, "This is a harmless leaf." The other arm was rubbed with a harmless leaf, while saying, "This is poison ivy." The result was shocking. Severe rashes appeared on the arm that had the harmless leaf, believed to be poison ivy, while the arm with the actual poison ivy showed almost no reaction. The body reacted to what it believed, not to the actual substance. This is known as the Nocebo Effect, negative expectations causing real physical symptoms. Similar findings have been observed in medical settings. When doctors say, "I'm now giving you a painkiller," the pain relief is significantly greater compared to when the same drug is given without saying anything. Just those few words can produce an effect equivalent to 6 to 8 milligrams of morphine. On the other hand, saying, "This drug might cause nausea or headaches," often leads patients to report those symptoms. Even if the drug has no such side effects, a single phrase from a doctor can be more powerful than the drug itself. What about the classroom? In the 1960s, psychologists Rosenthal and Jacobson ran an experiment in an elementary school. They randomly selected a few students and told teachers that these students would show dramatic academic improvement. The students weren't actually special. They were chosen at random. A year later, those students showed real IQ increases. The teachers' expectations had led to real growth. This is called the Pygmalion Effect, when belief creates reality. Another related study comes from psychologist Carol Dweck. She divided students into 2 groups and praised them differently. One group was told, "You're really smart." The other group was told, "You worked really hard." The results were clear. The group praised for being smart, avoided challenges and gave up more easily after failure, and their performance declined. The group praised for their effort, kept trying even after failure, and their performance stayed the same or improved. The way we speak to children can affect their confidence, their mindset, and even their success. Now, what about how we speak to ourselves? "I can do this. I'm okay." Self-affirmations, do they really work? According to a 2009 study by Joanne Wood, self-affirmations had a mixed effect. People with low self-esteem felt worse after repeating positive affirmations. People with high self-esteem felt slightly better. So, generic affirmations aren't effective for everyone. But strategic self-suggestions can make a difference. In a study led by German neuroscientist Henrik Walter, participants practiced self-suggestion to reduce snack cravings. Not only did their cravings decrease, but brain scans showed a reduction in reward system activation. In other words, targeted, believable self-suggestions can change both the brain and behavior. But what about talking to water or plants? A researcher named Masaru Emoto claimed that saying, "I love you" to water made its crystals more beautiful. However, scientific attempts to reproduce his findings failed. The evidence lacked reliability and a clear mechanism. There was a similar plant experiment. On the TV show Mythbusters, plants that heard any kind of talking, even insults, grew better than plants left in silence. But this was likely due to sound vibrations, not the meaning of the words, since plants can't understand language. So where does the power of words really work? It works on beings who understand meaning. Humans, and in some cases animals. Words influence our brains, our expectations, and through that, they change our bodies and behavior. They don't change water. They don't reprogram plants, but they can reprogram us. So that one word you speak to someone else or to yourself can truly become a force that shapes health, mindset, and life. Words aren't just sounds. They are energy, intention, and blueprints for action. So today, what kind of words are you choosing? And what kind of words are you offering to yourself? Because those words might just be writing your reality. If this message spoke to you, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And if you've ever experienced the power of words yourself, let us know in the comments. Your story might be the spark that transforms someone else's life.